Masechet Challah, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Dalid. Fourth Mishnah in the first chapter of Masechet Challah. And I want to dedicate this Mishnah to the memory of my father. We'll start here, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kama. There we go. Okay? Mishnah continues. Eluchim chayavin b'ma'asrot upturin min hachala. We've learned before with the species that were chayav and chala and patur mima'aser. Now we have the opposite. These following things are chayav and ma'asrot and exempt from chala. What are they? Rice, orez, rice. I read first. Orez, v'hadochan, millet, v'hapragim. Now we'll just get some help here. Okay, rice, millet, poppy seed, pereg. Right, pereg is poppy seed. Shumshamin, sesame, kitniot, legumes, pulse. I didn't know what this was. Pulse is, I actually looked this up. Pulses are part of the legume family, but the term pulse refers to the dried seed. Just take my word for it, okay? Pulse, okay? So that's kitniot, shumshamin kitniot. Upachot mechameshet reva'im b'tvua. Okay, so the first ones we understand. We'll get back to this one in a second. All these things are not grains. Orez, dochan, rice, millet, sesame, and all those things, kitniot, beans basically. All of those things are not grains, so they're chayav and masrot, but they're peturim min hachala. But this is pachot mechameshet reva'im b'tvua, less than 5/4 of a tvua, of a reva. Okay, chameshet reva'im, 5/4 of. What does that mean? 5/4 of 5 tvua she'asa less than pachot mechameshet reva'im kemach chayav b'masrot. So what is a reva? So in order to understand this, we have to look at my handy dandy chart that I made you. Okay? Here we are. Okay? So we have a beitza is an egg. In a log, there is 6 eggs. A log is also called a rova. Okay? Rova hakav. So 5/4 of a kav, and ignore these would be, okay, 4 kav, 1 second, is one kav is 24 eggs. So, chameshet revei akav, 5/4 of a kav, ostensibly would be 30 eggs, but we're going to see it's not that much. We'll learn about that later. Okay, but we see from here, if you have less than, shiur excuse me, the amount of measurement of dough you need in order to be chayav and chala is the volume of chameshet reva'im kemach, 5/4 of a kav of kemach, va'od, and a little more. Klomar, meaning ma'at yoter mechameshet reva'im. I want to point out, as you can see, I made you these whole charts. How do we get to what is 5/4 of a kav, etc., etc.? We're going to learn this. The Gahati brings it in the introduction to his explanation. We're going to learn it later on. When we come to it later on, when the Mishnah talks about it in Perek Bet, Mishnah Vav, then I'll give you the whole explanation. But I don't want to get into it here because it's we don't need. It's better to learn it in its proper place. Moreover, so if you have less than the amount of measurement, you're not chayav in challah, but the grain is obviously chayav in maaser. Sufganim. Let's learn each one. Lechem shebelilato rakab. Lila rakab means the dough is not thick, the dough is pourable. V'asui kisfog, and it's made like a sponge. Okay? Perush acher, some others say rikikim dakim. Soft, thin cakes. Okay? Those are sufganim. Today we call them sufganiyot, we call them donuts. We'll see in a second. Duvshanim, from the word dvash. Duvshanim, mituganim, midvash. They're fried in honey. That also sounds like our sufganim today. Va'iskuvitim. So iskuvitim, I actually brought you the jastro. Iskuvitim, he calls them balls, a kind of taste. Okay? But the Bartanura says iskuvitim are tzapichit. Belila rakama. They're very, very, it's like a paste, very, very soft. Like a tchina of some kind from flour. V'chalat hamashret. And challah that's made it's a kind of frying pan. We're not entirely sure what a mashret is. But it's not baked in an oven. The point here is that in order to be chayav and challah, it has to be baked in the bread. And these are all things that are not bread. They're donuts. They're jelly donuts. They're soft. They're paste. They're what have you, but they're not bread. So therefore, they're not chayav and challah. Because challah has to be bread. Or v'hameduma demai, i.e., you have chulin mixed with truma and it's not batel. And therefore, since there's truma, therefore you can't say it has to go to the kohen. All of those things are pturim min hachala. So all of these things, chayavin b'masrot, the grain itself was chayav in masrot, but these things are all pturim min hachala. All right, we'll stop here. If you have any comments or questions, as always, you can email me at rspolter@gmail.com. Have a good day.